crowd singing along to the beat songs because we got an advance release.
Oh, you did?
It's kind of fun. We going?
Yeah.
We are backstage at Hard Rock Cafe right now with John McLaughlin, and I gotta admit, except for this like cool wall, this sort of feels like a middle school cafeteria. Would you agree?
Yeah, I know. We've said that.
You said that?
You walk through the door back here, and it smells like a cafeteria.
Ew. Wonder if they have like meatloaf.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
It's all glamorous out there. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell me about. I guess it's been about a year since you've been on the show. You were on, and you were sort of, quote unquote, a new guy, even though you're not new in the Midwest. You played like every coffee shop from here to St. Louis. But you were sort of this new guy that had this song that unfortunately not enough Christian radio stations played, in our humble opinions. But you definitely got a lot of love on the mainstream side, and hopefully you'll get some more love on the Christian side of things this time around. But what's just happened to you, I guess personally, socially, from a faith perspective, what's happened in the last year? Because obviously things are going better, and you cut your hair.
I did cut my hair, which that was a step of faith right there. Because it's been a while since I cut my hair, so. Man, a lot has happened. The last year has been, like, time is going by like so much faster now, and it's just because like every day is just packed. Like today, like we're up at 7. We got something at 8, 9, 11, 12:30, 4, 7, whatever time it is, 11.
Midnight.
The days are just really scheduled, So needless to say, all those, like, as you're supposed to have, this kind of like calm sereneness to yourself. You're supposed to, like, every morning, you're supposed to get up and have that time, that like you used to have time for. And now, it's tough. Like, it's tough to be on the road and be doing all this stuff and still kind of keep that relationship with God, that relationship with your wife, your parents going, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, I love the hat.
Oh, thanks.
I intended to steal the font, but I won't.
The font?
Yeah.
Actually, this is the guy who did it. I said I just want like a real basic. My wife's name's Amy. I just want real basic, like somebody wrote it. And he came up with this kind of thing that looked a little too cool, looked too like nice. And I just asked him to like dummy it down a little bit, and he seemed a little disappointed actually in my choice. But that's it.
I have the zip code in my hometown right there, so I believe in writing what you love on your arm.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, 37 people, Fishhook, Illinois.
37 people.
I can name them, but we won't waste your time.
All right.
The album is called Okay Now, and by the way, there's a moment on there with the little synth voice thing comes in. I think it's like track 3 or 4. You can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You were listening to Thriller, weren't you?
Actually, well, with that song, I wrote it with a guy named Blue, and that's what he goes by. I think his
I guess it's not that much more ridiculous than Tower. So.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
We wanted to write, like, we're both huge Billy Joel fans, and we wanted to write exactly what Billy Joel would write in this song. We were like we wanted to like rip off Billy Joel, like completely to a T. What would Billy Joel write? So that's what we wrote, and it ended up sort of being a Billy Joel song, but it's like ELO, like kind of a thing. It's very like retro, but the whole record was very 80s pop. Like it was really tapping into the 80s pop.
Tell me specifically who you were like vibing on there.
I was really into I started listening to some Rod Stewart again, some Bryan Adams, which I guess is not so much 80s. Some of the stuff I was listening to. Like Huey Lewis and the News is a big one. All that kind of stuff. Like the kind of stuff that like I grew up listening to, like when I was young, like too young to really like have like music of my own, but it was just like this soundtrack that was going on around me, like at the like neighborhood pool, like John Cicada is on all the time, that kind of thing. Obviously like Michael Jackson and things like that. So.
And it's cool to see like people don't just casually come to your shows. If they come to your show, they're wearing like the original John MCL t-shirt that's been washed like 80 times from 4 years ago. They bought it at a coffee shop and there's 12 people there. And they know like every word, every single song you're doing.
Yeah, they're great.
So that's got to be, you know, a good feeling.
It's really great, and it's the best thing about that is, you know, I've always wanted to just keep it like that. Like I've always wanted to, you know, a part of me wants to play to like huge arenas, you know, for sure. But I don't know. There's just something cool about like the grassroots kind of building shows. Like the next time you come, you know, there's a little bit more people, you know. And,
yeah.
You know, we've been doing it for like 6 years now.
With that in mind, that like, you know, you're obviously like people are taking a piece of you home. What are you trying to say on this album that comes out on Tuesday? I mean, because they're pouring over the lyrics, so I assume you are too.
Yeah.
To write something worth pouring over.
Well, and I'm way big into lyrics, you know, and I'm not the kind of guy who thinks that every song has to be this like really deep, like change the world kind of song. You know, like I'm into music just to be music sometimes, but with this record, like the overall theme is just about like enjoying life in the moment. Like I have, which I could go into all this, but long story short, I had this like epiphany of like trying to enjoy my life at the time, because I tend to get really stressed out, especially being so busy all the time. And I always look back on like, you know, last year's fall tour. And I remember I was so stressed out during the whole time, stressed out.
If I can jump in, that was with Kelly Clarkson, right?
Kelly Clarkson, yeah.
Which was so good. P.S.
Oh, thanks.
We bailed on Kelly. We went to you, and then
Yeah, then we're like, please
then we
stay
went to
with
David
Crowder.
Crowder down the show. We totally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
So
think I remember he was playing at the same night.
yeah, it was like literally a half a block apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you
Well,
were all stressed out.
So that night, you know, Chicago Theater, whatever it was,
Yeah.
I'm stressed out, you know, but now I look back on it and I only have great memories of these specific shows, and I'm like, why was I so stressed out? There's nothing to be stressed out about. Even like back in the day, back in like 04, 03, when like I'm dragging my piano around to just play at these little coffee shops, you know, around Indiana, and I'm stressed out about the show, and I'm thinking like, man, why was I so stressed out back then? Like it was so like simple back then.
Yeah.
Now it's stressful, you know. So I'm like, you know, I've noticed the pattern, and like if I don't like enjoy it now, I'm gonna be looking back on like today at the schedule and being like, man, that schedule was easy, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So the whole record is just about enjoying life as it happens.
Can you tell me, because the song we're playing right now is obviously beating my heart, so can you tell me about where that came from, what it's about, what you hope people take away?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's a song about figuring out, you know, what it is that is keeping you going, you know, and the reason for living, and I'm really glad that song is the first single, because it really sums up, you know, what I was saying, the theme of the record, you know, and it really just comes down to, you know, that God has put me on this planet for whatever reason. I don't even feel anymore like I really need to know what it is. It's just, you know, just trying to not overcomplicate things and think, you know, God's got it figured out.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I definitely don't, and I don't think that I need to. I'm just gonna keep going.
Well, let's talk about what you think, or I guess kind of the way that people perceive your music, especially, you know, going back to the video and stuff, just because Beautiful Disaster floored so many people. And it was, I don't know if it was on MTV, because I don't think they played videos since like we were in junior high.
Right.
But you know, it got a lot of exposure on VH1. And the cool part about it, when I saw it, is like it was so countercultural to what everything else was saying. Everything else is basically like selling, you know, sex or money or, you know, or Black Eyed Peas CD or whatever. And then this goes on, and you know, I loved it because it was always next to some like really like glammed up R&B video where it's about a one-night stand, and then your song comes on about this girl that's just struggling to get through.
Yeah.
You know, as a, I guess as a Christian, as an artist, you know, like what do you think about that? That it's way different than what else is out there in the mainstream right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously the video I thought was perfect for the song. I thought that the know, that the high school picture day kind of a thing, like totally sums up, like everybody knows what high school picture day is like. Everybody hates high school picture day, you know. And it's, you know, with Beautiful Disaster,